Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Last Epoch video here. This video we're going to be taking a look at my Sorcerer and just going over a build that I've been testing out. I think it'll be even stronger in patch 1.1. So we'll just do a quick run through here and then we'll look at some of the gear and abilities and the setup in more detail. So just as you can see, I'm using Glacier as my main damage dealing spell. Pretty much one-shots everything. Currently I'm level 67 and doing some of the more early mid-game in-game stuff, and really looking forward to the new patch that's coming out on the 9th, so just a couple days away. This build, I've stacked a lot of mana, intelligence, cold damage, elemental damage, trying to just be pretty quick, and we've got teleport with some buffs, so every time we pop teleport we get a buff, and also use this spell mostly for single target, like when I'm fighting a boss, because pretty much everything else I just one-shot. Oh, sometimes it's hard to click on the stuff I want to actually pick up. We also have Flame Ward just for, a lot of survivability. It does a little bit of damage, but that's, not really the point of it. The point of it is to just get ward on demand, so we can really increase our effective HP. So one thing you can see here with the Glacier, the way I'm using it, I have the ability that makes it activate in reverse order, and this is because you get your big damage up front, so just that higher alpha damage. The utility you get from that is significant, in that typically you're one-shotting everything right off the bat. So as you can see, using this Ice Barrage on the single target, it does quite a bit of DPS. And oh, I didn't even realize there was still some. Oh, I guess I got a follower, dude. When we do run out of mana, we just pop this, and we also get some movement speed from it, some ward. So that's nice, just extra utility and survivability from that. When we teleport, we get some extra stats, extra damage, and survivability. So we can pretty quickly clear these monoliths. Did I already clear this one fully? Okay, so we've already fully cleared this one. We'll go ahead and pop back here and take a look a little more at the build.
I am not a man of many pockets.
So go ahead and we will look at first, let's take a look at the gear. So we've got this purple helmet. I've done a little bit of crafting on some of the gear here, most mainly the staff. It has one stat on there that is pretty worthless, but I ran out of forging potential, so that minion damage stat, there's room for improvement, definitely. This chest piece I've crafted a little bit on as well. Pretty solid. We have like 450 mana, so we're taking huge advantage of that stat there. So we're getting close to 180% increased spell crit just from that. Gives me almost maxed out physical resistance, and the intelligence and the armor, those are also useful. Amulets and rings aren't anything too special. Using this unique belt, it's kind of interesting. So I just get ward when I use a potion, which I basically get a lot of ward from potions from that. These gloves also, you know, okay. Mostly just using it for the mana regen and the ward decay threshold. Same thing with these boots. Ward decay threshold is nice. Movement speed is nice. These boots altogether give me 34 move speed. Plus 9 int is good. 2 mana gain. These other stats are useful when I'm channeling focus. So that can be useful in boss fights. And then this, I've had this for quite a while. I've really just kept it because of the void resistance and the plus to max mana. So up here, mostly all we've got is either mana or cold damage and resistance. Nothing too crazy. Blessings so far, I've only unlocked, you know, a few. So I've got increased crit and increased ornate idol drop rate. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our passives. So this is what my passive tree looks like, and really the main thing that I've gone for here is just mostly pure damage. So we're just basically looking for increases to damage, increases to intelligence, something like this that is gonna amplify a spell every few seconds, just higher burst damage, crit multiplier, and so that's basically what got us through that tree. Everything else so far I've got into sorcerer right now, and just 1 point in this, and then max this out to get more intelligence. We've got the increased spell crit chance per intelligence, which is fantastic. Because I have a ton of intelligence. Again, here we've got increased spell damage, ward retention, cold damage, cold penetration, cold damage leech. And then up here we've got intelligence and insight, which gives us 20% elemental damage and ward retention. So that is also, you know, really strong. I could potentially come back and level that up more if I wanted. Then over here we've got plus spell damage, plus mana regen, and then I've started to put my points into this right here. I think that I'll also get this down here. That would be 15 spell damage. So that would be fairly strong. And then I'm not really sure what I would put the remaining points into at the moment. And then skill wise, so we've got Glacier here, and this is what my Glacier tree looks like. So I tried it with this Vortex at one point, and the damage was basically non-existent, so I spec'd out of that just to warn you there. So the main thing is this, so the explosions go in reverse order, and then I got all of the buffs for the largest explosion deals more damage, and then I've started to put points into this just to do more damage to bosses and rares, because that's the only thing that I really don't one-shot. And then over here, same thing, largest explosion deals more damage, and hit damage against chilled enemies plus 30%. And then over here we just got that so that we could get this. So that's what that looks like. Over here, the main things with Flame Ward is just you know, whatever you would like that's going to increase your survivability. I like this path here that gives you more mana regen. The main thing you're gonna want to get is this. Increase your charges by 1, and then really whatever else you want is going to be solid. Like I thought this was good for increased duration, and I switched it over to cold damage just because I'm a cold build, so that way it can at least benefit from my abilities. I've thought about getting this because I could see that being good, but I don't really get stunned. So that hasn't really been a problem. I guess maybe on bosses that could be useful. Might save you a few times from dying. And then, like I said, just you know, pretty solid path right here. Like I could see putting more points into all of these abilities, skills here, and being useful. On Ice Barrage, so my Ice Barrage is pretty solid. Let's see here. So there was one that I picked up recently, which, yeah, so when it hits a boss or a rare enemy, the fire rate goes up to the cap, and so it does just way more DPS, so I would definitely pick that up. But this is what the rest of the tree looks like here. So just solid all around. Mostly just use it for killing bosses, but one thing that you can do is you can pop this like this, and then channel, like when you're low on mana. Like before I had 440 mana, I'd have to stop and channel focus a lot more frequently, so I could, you know, in a pinch, pop this, channel this, and while you're channeling that, you can also cast Flame Ward, so you do have some options there while you're channeling focus to still keep killing enemies and not be completely defenseless. On focus, we've got haste afterwards, which I think is a must-have, and then just get a burst of ward and mana, which is good. Additional ward per second, ward retention, converts mana gained into ward gained, which is huge, and increased mana regen, increased mana per point missing. I don't really go into negative mana, so I haven't got that, but I think just all this is really solid. And then in teleport, mostly we're just using teleport to get around, and also for a little bit of increased damage here and some defensive stats. So pretty decent ability. Just, you know, spam it as often as you can. So you see about 21k there, and when we use that, we go up to 23.5. So it's pretty solid buff. But yeah, that is the build. I've also thought about possibly, you know, when I get even more mana and mana regen, and I might not need focus at all, I could potentially switch that out for, you know, another ability, whatever that is. You know, it could be Black Hole. Not entirely sure yet, but I'll have to get quite a bit more. I could also see, you know, potentially like Frost Wall, or I don't know if this will buff like spell damage, or if it's only gonna be, I think it's just melee damage, so most likely it's gonna be, you know, between Frost Wall and possibly Black Hole. Those seem to be like the main contenders for if I were to drop focus, but really I think focus, I don't know how much mana and regen I'd have to the point where I wouldn't need focus. It just has so much utility, and having a third spell that I'd constantly be casting, I would drain my mana even quicker. So I'd really have to get quite a more significant mana pool and regen to overcome that. So that is my character that I've been testing out, and like I said, I think it's going to be even stronger in 1.1. Not entirely sure when the patch comes out if I'm going to start a new character or if I'll continue playing this character. I guess if the new content is locked behind like the cycle, realm or whatever they're calling it in this game, then I'll definitely be starting a new character, probably a primalist. If not, I may continue playing this character as well, and because I'm really enjoying it, having a lot of fun with it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, really appreciate it. It helps me out. We hit 1,100 subs the other day, so now we're going to go for 1,200. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and remember to give them the D.